Robbie Williams Rewind.
Welcome to Robbie Williams Rewind. We are the champions. I'm Matt.
And I'm Lucy.
And along with help from special guest fans, we take you on an in-depth rewind through the solo career of multi-award-winning singer, songwriter and entertainer, Robbie Williams.
And we've got a bit of a first today on the podcast. Matt and I are recording remotely from each other.
We are. It's like we were sat next door to each other, but we're not.
So Matt's in Birmingham with work, and we're so desperate to try and get this episode out to you all that we're having to do it like this.
Well, I'm in Birmingham at work on a Sunday.
Yeah.
I had to work from 4 p.m. until 9:15 on a Sunday, but there we go. So this is dedication for you that we continue to record remotely and get this amazing, incredible episode out to you.
Yes. So going back to earlier this week, we found out on Tuesday that we were going to be able to attend the red carpet of Robbie's European premiere of Better Man.
Yeah, well exciting.
It was.
Very surreal. And then we started to rapidly prepare, didn't we? Lots of research, thinking about questions.
Outfits.
Getting our outfits, getting our tech set up ready, our outdoor broadcast set up, and doing our cheat sheet so we knew who everyone was.
Yeah.
In amongst the crazy week at work. But we got it all sorted.
Then when we got there, it was actually a very small red carpet, I would say, compared to other red carpet events that I used to work. And only 24 fans got into the fan zone, which was a very small number. Lots of our friends got turned away.
Yeah, and I think to put into context for anybody that doesn't know, or maybe even does know, is Leicester Square in London, the Odeon in Leicester Square, is where a lot of premieres are held. However, it isn't always that there's a huge Christmas market in the middle of Leicester Square, which attracts tens of thousands of people. I mean, Leicester Square is not that big, really, is it?
No.
You put that Christmas market in the middle, along with all the buskers and all the tourists that are already passing through, and it becomes a very, very busy place. So the red carpet was essentially behind closed doors. It was behind screens. Fencing with Better Man posters and things all over it. So apart from, like you say, the fans that got in and the people on the red carpet, it was kind of shielded from everybody else outside so that it didn't cause some kind of health and safety risk. So it felt weird, didn't it? We sort of turned around a corner and went in, and there was suddenly just like a red carpet, and it was a whole screened off area.
Yeah.
But it was cool.
And it was also very cold.
Very cold.
My feet were like blocks of ice by the end.
I think it was like 0 or even -1, wasn't it? It was like freezing temperatures. Yeah.
But it was all worth it, of course. We got to meet lots of the cast, and of course, Robbie and Ayda too.
Everyone was there. Well, not everyone, but a lot of the main characters from the film, a lot of the main actors were there, and it was just the actors that were doing the red carpet. Even though, as consummate professionals, Lucy and I were prepared to interview absolutely everybody that worked on the film.
Producers, writers.
But that's good that we prepared for that, because hopefully we might get to speak to some of them at some stage through other means, or maybe even bringing them on the podcast. So at least we know who they are and what they did and their background. But it was wonderful to speak to all the principal actors in the film. It's really, really cool.
Yeah. So just talking about Rob, obviously he kind of turned up nearer the end. A lot of the other cast came through first, and they saved Rob for last. And so he was working his way. He started by the photographers and then worked his way past all the TV crews until he got closer to us. And then as he was a few people along from us, he was just having a nose around while speaking to someone, and he spotted us. And he kind of he did a double take and then had a funny look on his face, like, what are you two doing here?
Yeah, it was a definite double take, wasn't it? And a big smirk.
Yeah.
I think he was pleased to see us.
Hopefully. Yeah.
No, he was.
So then when he finally got to us, he was like, hey guys, which you'll hear when we play his interview in a bit.
He said, got the shirt on then, Matt.
He did say that.
Yeah, he said that as he was coming across to us. For context, that's the shirt that I wore on the Zoom when we interviewed him 2 years ago, and he remembers that shirt. I can't remember what someone wore at a party last week, let alone someone 2 years ago. So incredible memory that Robbie has, as we've commented on before.
Yeah, especially for clothes. And the other thing that you won't be able to pick up would be that he kind of rubbed our arms to say hello and goodbye as he got to us and as he left us, which was nice. It was like he wanted to give us a hug, but, you know, it was a professional environment, so we didn't do that.
Yes.
And the other thing that I did really like was when he came up to us and started chatting to us, all the fans in the fan zone who were just a bit further along from us all started cheering because they were so pleased that he was talking to us. And he kind of looked over at them, didn't he?
Thank you to everyone that did that. That was a moment.
Yeah. Although we didn't get to speak to him for very long, it was because we were basically told that we only had one question. And even though he'd been there for like less than a minute, Matt was already being tapped on the arm to finish.
Yeah. So we were well behaved, weren't we? We didn't add loads more questions in like some of the other interviewers did.
No.
But it was a lovely moment. We had our questions prepared. And as I said to Lucy, when I asked the first question, I'll let you hear it for yourselves. I won't do any spoilers. But the first question I asked was kind of, you all right, sort of unprompted. Didn't really ask that to anybody else because it's kind of like what you would say to a friend when you meet up with a friend. You all right?
Yeah.
Just kind of automatically said that. And that turned into an interview question. So, and actually a very useful and good answer from Rob. It was, yeah. So we did get a few questions in, didn't we?
Yeah. And I want to add also about Carter, little Robbie. He was so cute.
I think a star in the making there, 100%. Absolute ball of energy and just like, just such a connection. Just, you can tell why they picked him.
Yeah.
Just, lovely little guy.
So once Rob had kind of gone past all the media, he went over and did selfies and signed a few things for the fans. So we did manage to capture some of that on video, which we have shared some clips of on our social media. And then he went in and one of our friends was lucky enough to then get into the actual premiere and watch the film, which we weren't able to do. We still haven't seen it.
We'll be seeing it soon, though.
Yeah. But our friend did say that there were 2 empty seats near her, which we found incredibly annoying.
Lucy.
Well. And then, am I allowed to say this? You can always edit it out. That the man next to her fell asleep. Can you believe it? He
No, I
didn't
won't be
serve
editing
that
that
ticket.
out.
You won't?
Yeah. No. Honestly. Why go to a premiere and fall asleep?
Yeah, it's just rude.
Goodness. I think everybody else was awake, though.
Yeah.
Let's not give people the impression that he fell asleep because it wasn't any good, because
No.
we know it is good.
Exactly.
So.
And then the funny thing that happened at the end of the evening was we went to meet our friends in the restaurant, the ones who had been in the fan zone, and they had brought away one of the branding boards that was stuck to the barriers, or 2 of them. They had one which is the Life Through a Lens monkey film poster, and then another one which says Better Man in gold. And they had one each. Well, Zoe, who was on our Swings Both Ways tour episode, she decided that she wouldn't be able to get it back on the train to Stoke. So she said, does anyone else want it? And everyone was like, oh, I don't think I can get it home either. And I was like, well, actually, I probably could get it home because our trains are quite quiet going against rush hour traffic. And so I was like, yeah, we'll take one. And then Angela took one. Well, she tried to take one back to Scotland on her bus, but she ended up having to leave it behind because it was too hard. So I brought it home on my own the next day because Matt was still working in London. And I carried this humongous board on the train and through Waterloo, and it's now sitting in our lounge.
Yes, it is.
Much to the kids' dismay.
It's bigger than Lucy, the board.
Don't know what we're going to do with it.
No. It could be a good podcast background, though, for a bit.
Yeah, yeah.
And it was really nice to have all the support from those 24 fans that got into the little pen, the fan zone at the end, because we were quite close to them. And it was nice because we know they were supporting us. Many of them shared photos of us from their angle, from their perspective. And it was nice to meet up with a few of them afterwards as well. So thank you for all supporting us while we were there. It would be fair to say that it was a little bit nerve-wracking. More the setup, actually, rather than I don't know about you, Lucy, but rather, I think once we were asking the questions and in the flow, it just felt like quite normal because we were prepared and we had our questions ready. We knew what to ask. But I think it was the anticipation, the setup that was the nerve-wracking bit. Is all the tech working?
Yeah.
Will it all work when we actually start? And it's bloody freezing. But apart from that, I think it was all good. Well,
we did have one mishap, didn't we? The camera ran out of batteries.
Yeah,
in the
you
middle
told me it would be all right. You said, that camera lasts for ages.
Yeah, but we did leave it recording when there was no one there.
Oh, you think I was going to keep turning it on and off every time?
No, but anyway.
No.
Unfortunately, in the middle of Jonno's interview, it did run out. But you'll be able to hear all of the audio.
We'll keep the audio going. You're just on the video YouTube version. It's going to look a little bit weird, but it was lovely, actually. We had a really nice chat with him. I think he would have kept talking all night if we'd have asked him more questions.
Yeah. Yeah, I love chatting to all of them.
Yeah.
And then afterwards, also, at the end of the premiere, we went into the pub next door and then we came out to meet our friend who'd gone in. And we saw, well, I did. Matt stayed in the pub drinking his pint.
Yeah, I was happy to stay in the pub.
So I stood outside and saw everyone coming out. So I managed to get a selfie with a few people, including Ollie Mers, who I admit I ran after to get the selfie. And managed to speak to Dynamo. And I had a really nice chat with Jenny Griffin, the choreographer of the film, as she came out. And she was very emotional after watching it and just said that she absolutely loved it and it was so honest and so real. And she just welled up and couldn't speak and just had to kind of walk off because she just got so emotional. So, yeah, it was very nice to have the opportunity to speak to her. She was there with Ashley Wallen, the other main choreographer from the film. And also got to meet Tom from Lottery Winners, who was supporting Rob on tour. And a few other people.
Yes, you did a bit of celebrity connections.
Yeah.
Stalking after these.
It was also nice to see Guy Chambers, wasn't it? And Chris Briggs was there too.
Yeah, well, I didn't see Chris. You saw Chris, but
at the end, yeah.
We did have a nice little chat with Guy on the red carpet. He wasn't actually doing interviews, but it was very nice of him to come over and say hello. So it was a very lovely evening all in all. And based on what Lucy just said, I can see that I'm going to be carrying her out the cinema in floods of tears when we go to see the screening soon. So, I'll prepare myself for that. What was your favourite moment of the entire evening, Lucy?
Well, obviously talking to Rob. And
second favourite?
Maybe talking to Michael Gracey when he said what he said about one of his answers. It just made me laugh. And I'm looking forward to seeing that bit in the film. What about you, Matt?
I enjoyed speaking to all of them, but just because of the energy, I really loved speaking to Carter. It was just I was so excited for him, being so excited about being there. It was just, it was nice. But everyone was lovely. And honest, I think, real honest, down-to-earth answers. So,
and
it
people.
was nice.
Yeah.
And people,
Just all lovely people.
Good group of people.
Didn't
we had
seem
a nice
to be
laugh.
any egos, did there?
No, we had a nice laugh with Ayda as well. That was good.
Yeah.
You could have to listen to that to find out what I mean. But yeah, all in all, what a fantastic episode. Something that we were hoping for, worked towards, and it happened. And we hope that you enjoy listening to our red carpet interviews. And I have a feeling, well, we know already, let's not do any spoilers, but we know already that there might be a couple of spin-off episodes from the red carpet, Lucy. So
hopefully
our listeners and viewers have got that to look forward to. Little teaser there.
Robbie Williams Rewind.
Hello, Carter.
Hi, Carter.
Hi.
We are from Robbie Williams Rewind podcast.
Yeah, hello.
Hello, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too.
So, did you know who Robbie Williams was before you got the part?
Well, yeah, I knew that he was like a famous singer, but I didn't know like a lot about him. Like,
Right.
Yeah.
And what do your friends and family think about you playing a little CGI chimp?
Yeah, like I'm amazing. Like I didn't even know at first, but then like when they told me, I was like, wow. I was like amazed. Yeah.
And did you get to travel to Australia to do
no,
the film?
no.
No? You did all of yours here, did you? All of your filming here?
Yeah, I done a few with Stoke-on-Trent. I done some recording in like Manchester and stuff like that.
Right, okay. And you've enjoyed it all, the whole experience?
Yeah, it's been amazing.
What's your favourite part of filming?
My favourite part was probably the football bit because I had to like get angry and like be like, oh, come on.
Thank you for speaking to us, Carter.
Yeah, thank you.
Cheers.
Thank you.
Hello, Jake. You played Gary Barlow in the film, and we're from Robbie Williams Rewind podcast.
Yes, I recognise from Instagram. I recognise the label. Yeah, how you doing?
It's just like, so friends in the audience in Melbourne filming said that you guys nailed Take That's moves in the live performance. What was it like playing one of Take That?
Oh, how long have you got? Yeah, just incredible. Like real pinch me stuff. I grew up listening to Take That, especially when Take That sort of got back together in sort of 2005, 6. I would have been 8. So that was prime time for sort of front of the bus on the way to school, listening to Patience and Shine. And I think one of my house songs at school was Shine by Take That. You know, they're really part of my childhood. So, yeah, I mean, to bring Gary to life, who's just a household figure, it's incredibly surreal. A real privilege. I really hope I've done him justice, to be honest. I mean, the hardest part was capturing the dance moves.
I was going to say, actually, did you kind of do your moves a bit more woodenly than the other guys?
Hey, listen, your words, not mine. But yeah, I had to do a lot less dancing than these boys to my right. It was much more sort of hip thrusting and singing.
Yeah.
But listen, don't get me wrong, a lot of work went into it.
Yeah.
And we tried to nail all the specific mannerisms, from sort of points to nods and the whole thing.
About the eyebrow.
The eyebrow, the right eyebrow, when he's really thinking about something. Yeah, no, that's a real factor. But then there's also an element where you don't want it to be too technical and you sort of just want to be present and be truthful. So, yeah, no, it was a blend of sort of bringing my own take on it and being as accurate as I could be.
Yeah.
And what was the one thing that you learned about Take That that surprised you during filming?
How laddie they were.
Yeah?
Yeah, incredibly laddie. I mean, as you can imagine, I've watched every single video of Take That under the sun, on YouTube. And ultimately, they're just a bunch of teenage lads, just sort of like we were, albeit we're about 5 or 6 years older than all of they were, just like living their dream. Mm-hmm. So we have such an amazing rapport, the 5 of us in the band. So that side of it was really easy to recreate what Take That had. A lot of the verbatim scenes that we would shoot in fan clubs and stuff that you can see online, you're just looking at 5 young guys, best mates, just being really giddy and boisterous.
Yeah.
And I think that was a surprise to me because you see the sort of 90s clean-cut boy band, and I don't think you expect there's a bit of edge and there's a bit of banter and a bit of, you know?
Yeah. Oh, thanks, Jake.
Thank you very much. Enjoyed the premiere. Hello, Steve.
Hi.
Robbie Williams Rewind podcast.
Okay.
So
you know your stuff.
We
do.
know our stuff. We've known our How long have we known our stuff? 25 years we've been following him. Yes.
Right, okay.
So what attracted you to the role of playing Robbie's dad?
Well, I had a Zoom meeting with the director and he outlined his concept. So the combination of it being a musical with those songs, with it having such an unusual concept behind it, and having seen The Greatest Showman, of course, and knowing how brilliant Michael was as a director, I didn't have to think very hard about it, to be honest. I was like, I'm there. I just loved the idea.
Excellent. And have you been in touch with Pete about playing him at all?
I haven't, unfortunately. No, I've heard a lot of things about him, and I know that everyone who works with him loves him. He's a great comic. He's a great storyteller. But I didn't feel I was doing an impersonation of him.
Right.
So I didn't have to worry about getting his vocal exactly right.
Right.
But I would love to meet him. I've heard so many amazing things about him. So. Poppa Pete.
Poppa Pete, that's right.
I really hope I can get to meet him.
Yeah, that would be nice. And what's your favourite Robbie song?
That's a hard one, isn't it?
Yeah.
I really liked Feel.
Yeah.
I really liked doing it in the film.
Right.
Because I had to sing a little bit of it, and it's such a beautiful song.
It
so I'm
is.
going to go with that one.
Excellent. Okay.
Thanks,
Thank
Steve.
you, Steve.
Enjoy the premiere. Cheers.
So,
You play Karina.
No, I'm
sorry.
Natalie.
Natalie.
I'm Karina. I play Natalie.
Sorry.
That's okay.
Have you got it ready there?
yeah. So, do you enjoy working alongside your sister?
It honestly is the greatest thing. You know, being a twin, you can't do it forever. It's not cute at our age, but whenever we get the chance, we really love it and take any opportunity. So when they asked me to come and play a pop star for a few weeks, I was like, yes, please.
Yeah,
and I get to watch her work, which was just a dream.
Yeah, excellent. And have you spoken to Natalie about portraying her?
I have not spoken to Natalie, but Raechelle was kind enough to share a lot of her resource sources and things like that, so research sources rather, and she was just a wealth of information with reading Nicole's book and being able to share that experience, so I felt like I was informed, but hopefully I'll meet her tonight.
Yeah, that'd be nice. What's the one thing that you've learned about Robbie while making the film?
I think the thing that I've learned is how open he was trying to be about his mental health at the time, and how it just wasn't really something people were willing to entertain.
Yeah.
And I think being a man, but also just someone in this profession, it just wasn't something that was on the table to discuss.
Yeah.
And I really admire his ability to just be like, oh, this is hard and I was never prepared for this.
Yeah.
And he I think was ahead of his time in that way, so I'm glad he's finally getting the opportunity to share his experience.
Yeah. And have you got a favourite Robbie song?
Oh, God, I know that's going to come up. She's the one, obviously, right now. But I think Go Gentle gets me.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah, I think it's a new era. It was a new era for him being a parent, and it really warmed my heart. He was always someone, my mum practically raised us on Robbie Williams music, so I think seeing him then be a parent was really special.
Yeah.
Oh. Yeah.
Well, thank you.
Thank you.
for talking to us.
Pleasure.
Enjoy the premiere.
Hi.
How are you?
Raechelle, nice to see you.
Nice to see you.
We're from the Robbie Williams Rewind podcast.
Oh, I've heard about you.
have you?
Yes,
good.
indeed.
Hopefully it's all good.
No, of course, I'm a Robbie fan. Of course, I've heard about you.
Great.
So you play Nicole Appleton in the film.
I do.
Robbie's ex.
How was meeting Nicole? Oh, it was spectacular. She is just as you'd imagine. She is warm. She's very generous, and she just has the ability to make you feel like you've known her whole life. So it wasn't a nerve-wracking experience. She's not. Yeah, it was a real pleasure and honor, honestly.
Yeah. And what was it like going to India for that film festival?
Oh my goodness, it's my first time in
Yeah.
India, so to be able to go for my first film was a pretty special experience, and it was a really receptive crowd, and to be able to share it with a giant crowd for the first time was just a real moment for me.
Yeah.
So yeah, very proud.
Excellent.
And was it harder portraying challenging emotional scenes in the film, knowing that they were based on a true story?
I think the challenge there was to make sure that we were we honoured the story that we were telling, but we were also respectful of trying to find the grounded truth there, but also understanding that this was a long time ago and wanting to make sure that it was handled delicately. And that was a real focus from Michael and Jonno and myself, and I hope that we've done that, you know? It's always a tricky thing to do. Yeah.
Well, thank you.
Lovely
for
to meet you.
to
Thanks
us.
for listening to the podcast.
Of
Appreciate
course,
that.
thank you for all your work. I'm so happy.
Enjoy the film.
Thank you.
Good night.
Good night.
Thanks.
Bye.
Hey, Michael.
Hi.
Hi.
Are you guys the same? All right. This is not competing.
No.
Oh, yeah.
We're from the Robbie Williams Rewind podcast.
Oh, amazing.
So we are
super
absolute
specific.
Robbie fans.
Yes.
Do you want me to hold this
Yes,
or you?
please.
Okay.
Yeah, thank you. I'll just make sure I've got you in shot. There we go. Okay.
So how rigorously did you stick to the script when you were filming?
Yeah, actually, really close. Yeah. I mean, there's some amazing stuff that every actor brings.
Yeah.
But no, it's very faithful to the original script.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I hear there was lots of Easter eggs for the fans.
There's lots of Easter eggs.
What's your favourite one that you've snuck in there?
I think recreating Do What You Like.
Oh, really?
Which is on a TV in the background.
Oh, God, I'm going to look out for that when we finally see it.
That one day someone should see that up close because that's some music video.
Did you recreate it with the guys in the...
With all the guys,
Yeah, oh, wow.
Yeah, they just strip down and... yeah.
That is funny. Yeah, I do, yeah.
And Robbie sent you 2 songs.
No, lots of songs.
Sorry, Robbie sent you songs for 2 years to be considered for the end credits, but none were right. What did you love about Forbidden Road, and how do you think we'll ever get to hear any of the others on any of his future albums?
You very well might get to hear some of them on his future albums. Yeah. And there are some incredible songs. There's just such a specific tone and mood at the end of the film, which is a very reflective one. And you need people, almost as Rob looks back on his life / the film, you need people to be able to sit there and sort of reminisce on their own lives.
Yeah.
And so you need a song that can sort of allow you the space and the tempo to do that.
Yeah. I think we're good. Yeah.
Fantastic.
Thank you,
Thanks
Michael.
so much.
Nice to meet you.
Yeah. Cheers. Thank you.
Hello.
Hi, Jonno.
How are we doing, guys?
Hello, Jonno.
Great shirt.
Thank you.
Bringing the warmth on this cold evening.
Thank you very much. So we're from the Robbie Williams Rewind podcast.
Wow.
You may have heard of us.
Yeah,
I know.
I know who you are.
So you play Robbie in the film.
I do.
What were your first thoughts when you were cast for the role of Robbie?
Fear.
Yeah.
A little bit, right? It's the sort of role that you dream about when you're at drama school and you want to be an actor. You know, you work with Michael Gracey and you're doing this huge motion picture. But when you get it, you're like, oh, I've now got to do the thing, and they're going to find out that I'm rubbish and I'm terrible, and actually I'm just a big joke. You know, it's that imposter syndrome that Rob talks about.
Yeah.
You know, and that for me it was my net worth.
Yeah.
It was a thing I was dreaming about, and then as soon as you're given that opportunity, like, I've actually got to come through now, right? So there was certainly that, but then Michael, the gracious man that he is, and the leader that he is, he's like, you've got this. We've given you this for a reason, and I want you to go and do what you do best and play. And so it was just the most amazing experience on set.
Wow.
And what was your favourite scene to film?
Oh, that's a toughie. Regent Street was pretty iconic, kind of shutting down Regent Street for 4 nights with like my 4 best mates, just dancing to an absolute Robbie bop that is Rock DJ. And then more on like the acting side, working with Steve Pemberton who plays Dad. There were certain days where we'd be working on scenes that just wasn't happening. For whatever reason, it just wasn't working. Yeah. And Michael just said, forget everything we've blocked and done, you two play, go have fun. And that's such a gift for an actor, right? To be given that trust and to really feel like you're making the story, the character your own. And it's some of my most favourite scenes in the film now.
Right. And your first concert was Robbie at Milton Keynes Bowl in 2006.
Yeah.
So was this role your destiny?
Well, maybe. Who knows? It's funny how the world works, right? I just remember looking up at that stage, a 9-year-old boy that liked dancing and liked singing, and seeing this guy just own it, right? And he's done that for 35 years, and he still does it now. I love the way that he interacts with his audience. You can tell when Robbie performs, he does it for the crowd, he doesn't do it for himself. Yeah. And that was something that I just thought was so intoxicating then, and it was something that I wanted to involve in my performance for the film as well.
Yeah. What song resonated most with you during filming?
I think Come Undone now. Come Undone really hits home now. the pain that you feel when he sings that now. We've given it that whole new context.
Yeah.
And it's that he just lays himself bare in that song. And I think, you know, if we could all do that to some extent, we can all be quite truthful with ourselves.
Yeah.
It's really special.
And then the final, very important question: what's your favourite Robbie song?
You know what? I'm going to go for one that's not in the film, just to shake things up. I love Millennium. I'm sorry, I do. The strings, the kind of James Bond vibe to it. And again, I was that era of like when it came out. It's like, who is this guy? And I was like wanting to wear a suit. I never want to wear a suit before. Like I want to wear a Power Rangers outfit, and I saw him in the suit. I was like, yeah, that's a cool guy. Yeah.
Well, Jonno, thank you for speaking to us, and thank you for supporting the podcast. We appreciate it. Enjoy the premiere.
Lovely to meet you guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
See you. Hi, Ayda.
Hi. I'm like, you're shaking like me. We're both. It's like I think I'm like on a shake weight right now or something. He's like, we're filming it. Oh God, I'm just.
We have a Robbie Williams Rewind podcast.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
I love a good podcast, especially a Robbie Williams podcast.
Best kind.
Best kind.
So, firstly, very important question, Ayda. Who are you wearing this evening? Look very
I'm about
glittery.
to start wearing icicles right now. I'm wearing Giorgio Armani and some Chopard diamonds.
Lovely.
And a Chopard watch.
Oh, bling, bling.
We're feeling very sparkly.
So if there's a sequel, who would you like to play you?
Oh God, who would I like to play? I mean, I don't know, Giselle Bündchen if she didn't have to talk, or I don't know. Who would play me? God, I've never thought about that. Can I play me?
Yeah,
you can
you should play you.
Yeah, I'm playing me. Yeah. Why would I outcast myself? Me with some heavy filtering.
And was it hard watching Rob's story with Nicole?
Do you know what? It oddly was what I felt. I felt bad for Nicole because I think she got a rough ride from a boyfriend.
Yeah.
Like I was like, you know, that sucks. That sucks, girl. Do you know what I mean? I think. Listen, everyone has exes.
Yeah.
Rob has a lot. Okay, I have very few. He has a lot. Chalk and cheese.
Yeah.
You know, I had no problem with it in that sense at all. You know, I've known about his relationship with Nicole.
Yeah.
I watched his relationship with Jerry in the documentary.
Yeah.
We're good. We've been together for 20 years.
Yeah.
He's a pop star. He did his thing. Now we're incredibly boring and we sit at home and we watch TV and we eat chocolate. So, you know, I had no problem with that. I just wanted to I still need to find her and give her a hug and say, sorry, he was such a dick to you.
Yeah.
But, no, not a problem at all.
And can you see Rob in The Monkey?
100% I can see Rob.
Yeah.
Oh, it's all in the eyes.
Yeah.
Rob is the monkey. The monkey is Rob.
Yeah,
There's, I mean, they've mapped Rob. The monkey is Rob. Oh, he's actually, on some level, the monkey is more Rob than Rob. Yeah, 100%.
Well, thank you for speaking to us, Ayda. It's
My
lovely to
pleasure.
see you
Look forward
again.
to the
Enjoy the
podcast.
film.
All right,
Thank
see
you.
you later.
Bye.
You guys.
Hi guys.
Hi, Rob.
You got your shirt on?
I've got my shirt on. Yeah. I know you like
Nice
this
to
shirt.
see you.
so-
I do like that shirt.
How are you doing?
I'm doing really good. I'm trying to just take it all in. So normally on these sort of things, my brain races so fast that it's just confusing and full of adrenaline, and I don't get to be there. But I'm actually trying to look at everybody and take it all in, because this is one of the most precious, important nights of my life.
Yeah. And so if you could perform a duet with the CGI monkey version of yourself, what song would you sing?
It's got to be King of the Swingers or something like that.
Not one of your own?
No. Me and my monkey. That'd be a film noir sort of video, wouldn't it? Great idea, thank you.
Well, have a lovely evening, the great premiere. We appreciate
Loads of love.
seeing you. See you soon. Have a good one.
Hi, I'm Robbie Williams, and you're listening to Robbie Williams Rewind with the Champions.
So there we go. Wow, what an incredible time we had on the red carpet. And you can watch Better Man in UK and Irish cinemas on Boxing Day, 26th of December. Enjoy. So there you go. Wow, what a lineup of incredible people and interviews. We hope we asked a few unique questions that maybe some of the other interviewers didn't ask or you haven't heard before. And finishing up, obviously, with Rob there. He was being rapidly rushed along the carpet. What did you think about his answer to, A, how you doing, which was my completely unscripted question. So we did ask more than one. And then, what song would you sing with the CGI monkey? What did you think about his answers to both of those?
Well, it was actually really nice to hear him talk about how he was feeling, because I often wondered that over the past 2 months since he's been doing Better Man promo, how he's actually felt doing it, because he doesn't normally like doing red carpet events and things like that. So that was quite interesting. And then I was quite pleased that he said Me and My Monkey, and I am hoping that maybe he might bring that back on the next tour, and they might do some cool kind of video in the background using the CGI monkey.
And then you can claim to have had the idea.
Yeah.
You can claim that one.
I can claim it, yeah.
Yeah, that's a good idea. We might have to have a word with the management on that one. You know, really, Lucy came up with that idea, and we've got it on tape, tape? Video, internet, if podcast thing.
But I think that would be a quite nice thing to do on the next tour, because everyone loves that song and we want him to sing it again.
Yeah, it would be. Yeah. Yeah. And I actually think that the sparkle in his eye when he was thinking about that, he found that very interesting, that idea. So, yeah, it could be. Could be.
It would be good.
Yeah, so were you happy with the evening overall?
Yeah, it was amazing. I was very happy. I was very pleased that I stayed calm and just spoke to everyone, and it was all good. It took me back to my...
the ability to speak. That's
no,
good.
I was able to speak, yeah.
Yeah. And it was quite nice to go and warm up afterwards with some friends and have dinner, wasn't it?
Yeah, very nice. Well, I would have rather gone in and watched the film.
Yeah, I know, but...
Can't have everything.
and then there was one thing we should probably cover, but we weren't involved with it, was that he went to the Leo, is it the Leo? Which is a sort of a nightclub type place, theatre-style nightclub.
Yeah.
Just across the square, in fact. So how did they get him across the square? I reckon they drove him round.
Oh, definitely drove him. He wouldn't just walk.
but it's like 10 metres across from the door to the other door, but they drove him round, probably one service entrance to another.
Yeah.
But yeah, it looked as though they had a good gig, a good post-show gig in there. And Rob sang a few songs. Yeah.
Yeah, and he looked good in his white suit.
Yeah.
I did for the gig.
I guess hopefully this episode comes out fairly soon. We've just got news of the Amsterdam screening.
Yeah,
it's coming
premiere.
up soon.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the premiere.
There's also
screening,
there's also going to be one in Cologne, and he's going to be on a Spanish TV show. I think he's going to be on the Italian X Factor final. There's quite a few things coming up that he's doing.
Got plenty coming up, and I wouldn't be surprised. We don't know yet, but I wouldn't be surprised if he doesn't turn up on a couple of Christmas shows, specials, something. Maybe Graham Norton, or maybe someone's doing an ITV Christmas show or something. It'd be kind of appropriate for him to be on it, wouldn't it? So
it would, yeah.
If we find out, we will certainly let you know.
I do know that he's going to be on BBC Radio 2 with Zoe Ball at some point. She's said that a couple of times.
Oh, cool. Very good.
Right, so
okay.
I think we're good.
Well,
we're done.
And we have, as usual, other guests lined up, don't we, Lucy? Still working on them. Still more special guests to come. You know who you are. So we will get them eventually into the diary. Maybe not this side of Christmas, but we'll see what we can do. So there is more content on the way, more people to speak to, and hopefully we can get some more interviews with the cast and crew of Better Man as well.
Yeah,
that would be good.
We do actually have an episode recorded. We just need to
we do.
edit it
We're
and get it out.
Backing up a little bit, because I work so hard, I haven't got time to do any editing.
Yeah,
I have to
exactly.
start outsourcing that, I think. All right then. Well, I hope you enjoyed the episode, and look forward to more. If this is the last episode before Christmas, have a good Christmas.
Yeah.
Enjoy. And we'll see you in the new year, unless we manage to squeeze in. Well, actually, no, we will squeeze in another episode. We'll get that mystery episode that Lucy was talking about out before Christmas.
Yeah.
I'll be editing on Christmas Day, probably. No.
No, you won't.
All right then.
Okay.
See you. Bye.
Bye.
Robbie Williams Rewind.